Just saying.
We're going to talk about leaving the left. I have no idea what to say.
Have you never done an in-person collab?
No.
Oh my God. I'm always everybody's in first.
You're popping my cherry, as it were.
Hey, well, maybe in more ways than one. No, I'm just kidding. She's straight. Totally straight.
Spreading rumors.
Even though she has a lesbian haircut.
I totally have lesbian. All the lesbians love me. They always love me. Yes. I can't imagine why.
You look more gay than I do with the hair.
Well, you know.
Just the hair.
You know.
Especially now since I got my highlights, I totally look like a straight girl.
You totally do.
Imagine.
No, but we want to talk about our political evolutions because we got we came out of the closet at the same time.
We've both been canceled, and as we're coming out of the closet, the political closet. For me, more than one closet because I'm gay, but which even is more shitty. Can we curse on your channel?
Oh, yeah, totally, yeah.
Okay. It's even worse for a gay person because you're expected to be progressive, Democrat, liberal, crazy liberal, whatever the hell. What was your, what was your turning point?
My turning point was, it was like the perfect storm of chaos. Most people know the story of it starting with the knitting community and the knitting community that I was in getting totally taken over by social justice warriors and them causing all sorts the knitting community. Yes, it is everywhere. It is in crafting, it is in crocheting, quilting, and all this stuff.
Did you see the post where they were knitting tiny fake penises?
Yes.
Okay. Video.
That's another problem.
I haven't done a video on that yet, but I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Where do you think the pussy hats came from? Right?
You guys did that?
The knitters did that.
Oh, that's okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
My knitting community got taken over, and then at the same time, all of my friends who are progressive people who all work at colleges all over the country, they all started talking like pod people, and all of a sudden out of nowhere they're like, "Carlin, shut up and listen to black people." And I was like, what? You were normal last week. What happened? And there was just no reasoning with them. And so all this stuff was happening at the same time. And I was like, oh my God, my friends have gone insane. I don't even know what's going on anymore. And I just started watching people on YouTube and trying to challenge myself to consider different ideas. And then I went to a Trump rally and I wrote an article about it and it went accidentally viral on the internet. And all of a sudden, all of my friends and my parents and my family, they're like, oh my God. And I went on Fox News and Glenn Beck and all these people that everyone in my life hated, and
they were all nice.
They were all nice.
Every time. It happens like that.
Awesome.
Every time.
But yours was more deliberate. You planned yours.
I didn't. Don't make me sound like a narcissist. I'm not a narcissist. No, I had to plan it because, okay, so here's the thing. For people that don't know me that are watching your channel, I've been making content for over 10 years on YouTube. I'm like the OG lesbian. And regardless of what people say about me, you could just go back and watch my content. I've been promoting, of course, people that I agree with, but I've been promoting trans creators, even some, one person that identifies as non-binary, and people of color, even though I hate that term, mostly just black people is really what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Black people, since the very first, maybe the third video I've ever made, had a friend of mine that was black girl, black lesbian. I'm the only person that has consistently done that for 10 years on their channel. Most channels, they're all about themselves, which is fine. That's
it's your channel.
Do whatever you want. But to call me racist and homophobic and transphobic and all these other things just because you disagree with the people that I'm making videos with, that's what set me off. And that's what started my journey. And then it kind of ended when I was going, believe it or not, to an adult film convention in Vegas.
The conservatives would love it.
They love me though. Listen, they're on my OnlyFans page. I see two of my friends out there, and one of them I was good friends with. The other one I had never really had much of a conversation with. And when I finally met them in person, one of the women was like, "I'm so glad you're not a crazy SJW. I was worried because you had women empowerment and the rainbow flag in your Twitter bio." And I was like, that's all it takes these days.
It really is. It's you look for these signs everywhere. You're like, yes.
I didn't have pronouns, but I was like, I have to come out. I have to. That was 2 Novembers ago. And I had to. And then I went to hang out with, I don't know if it was
No, it's fine, I don't care.
I went to hang out with Tim Pool and I asked his advice and he was like, you need to make a video about this. My friend Sydney helped me make a video. I came out leaving the left, so to speak. Turns out I was kind of never really on the left to begin with, I guess. I was kind of always more in the middle. At the present moment anyway.
Yes.
Where things are headed right now, I'm definitely a libertarian and I lean conservative on certain issues. And I can't even tell you, probably about 50 creator friends of mine.
Oh, I bet
Or
you
more.
did. Yeah.
At least 50. And countless videos have been made about me. And yet I'm the bully somehow. But they're making the videos about me. But, you know.
Well, it's like all projection, too.
Yeah.
It's like, because I watched some of the videos that have been made about you, and I'm like, you're just angry that she left. That's all that it is. You're just angry, and now you're trying to find reasons to be angry. But it's like, so did you like Trump when you left?
I came out. Oh, here's the funny story. Okay, so nobody really knows this story. I've never told this story online. Maybe I will. So I started to like Trump because I started following people before I came. Like I was like testing the waters, like following people, Rob Smith, my friend David, like little people here and there, following them before I came out. And then I wound up meeting them in person, and I was like, okay, they're just like I thought they were going to be. They're not crazy, and they just think differently on me, differently than me in certain instances. I didn't like Trump right away, but I knew that I didn't want Biden.
Right.
Like I knew, like that was obvious. Like I especially since I was living in Florida at the time, like full time, and then I was going to move back to New York, and I saw how bad New York was getting, and I was just like not having it. I wasn't pro-Trump, but talking to people that were, and actually listening to the things that he did rather than what people said he did, made me start to like him. And then when I came out as a Trump supporter, forget it.
Oh my God. It's like a whole
Just leaving the left was bad enough. Never mind telling everyone I voted for Trump. And I don't agree with, the thing is, neither of us agree with everything the man does.
No, Trump is not a perfect person.
No. The Gemini, I mean, really. Like,
yeah.
This is, I hate that, I love that. Sorry, Geminis. But you did it to yourself.
You're two-faced.
You did it to yourself.
You're two-faced.
But you know what? Biden's a Scorpio. I don't fucking trust this motherfucker.
No, Scorpios are the worst.
But like I actually became red pilled. This is the funniest story ever. So my two really good friends of mine were the ones that red pilled me. Listen to this. They are both lesbians. One of them is half black, but like looks black. She doesn't look like she's half. She looks like she's full black.
Right.
So she's oppressed in the left side. Okay. They're both burlesque dancers. They're in an open relationship. Like they'll have threesomes, and then they've said this publicly, so I'm not like throwing them under the bus. One of them is a traditional painter.
Really?
Like went to art school, is a like an oil fine arts oil painter, and the other one went to circus school. I'm not even kidding. This sounds like I'm making this up.
I want to go to circus school.
And like is a juggler and like does these crazy things. Trump supporters.
Of course.
Trump supporters.
Trump appeals to everyone, man.
Trump supporters, they read the shit out of me. Brilliant women. Like they sat me down, made me watch a documentary, and I was like, holy shit. I had no, and my Mary, the older one out of the two, was like, the black one. She's like, you see this shit? You see this?
Once you
I'm like, girl, I didn't fucking know any of this.
You know, I gotta tell you, it's like some days I really wish I could be inserted back into the Matrix, because like it's like once you see it, it's like, oh my God, it's like you cannot unsee it. It's like forever after that. No, Trump is not like a perfect person. I kind of came around to Trump. I was like, I knew I wasn't gonna vote for the Democrats, because Democrats done pissed me off. And then after my article went viral and like my havoc was wreaked on my life, I was like, I'm not giving you people any power. No. And then Biden.
How many hit pieces?
Oh, dude,
and it was all from liberal sites, right?
So many.
From loving liberals.
BuzzFeed was the worst. BuzzFeed? I bet your number, BuzzFeed. But like, no, it was just like the worst. And so I didn't like the Democrats. And then once Biden got the nomination, I was like, F this. Because I had seen Biden in person when I was still a Democrat. He was slurring his speech. He was not making sense. I was like, he's got dementia. There is no way I'm voting for this person. Like that's
like, you can tell.
He's got actual dementia. And then the left is like, Trump has dementia too. No, he doesn't. No. He does. Trump has nothing like that. I was at front row at a Trump rally in Georgia when the man spoke for 2 hours. You can't do that when you have dementia. No. Joe Biden can't even do that now. And so I kind of came around to Trump. Like at first it was just like a vote against Biden. And then it was like, Trump is actually kind of awesome. And he really pisses them off. And I enjoy that. And then once he banned critical race theory, I was like, done.
Yeah,
I need to look no further.
You just made a really important video on that. I just watched it.
Oh, yeah. I make videos about critical race theory like all the time, and it's like.
But the one that you made that went viral, the tweet that you made that went viral was like the really important one.
Yeah, and it's an existential threat in this country, and it's like no one can see it except for the right. Like the left has still gone crazy, and it's like this monster is taking over every major institution in the country. Like, what is going on? And Trump was the only person to step up and say, we're going to put a stop to this, at least in the federal government. And I have a lot of respect for that. And so he did that. He won my support, and then, you know, didn't do so well in the election. Maybe.
I think that's a lie. But
Yeah, well, we can't say that on YouTube.
I know, automatically. But yeah, like what you just said.
Yeah.
There's another thing that made me think differently about everything. It's affecting everything. Like, it's affecting everything.
Everything.
Like my best friend's daughter, okay? My best friend only dates Hispanic men. She's only attracted, doesn't like white dudes, doesn't like black dudes. I mean, maybe, like, once in a while. But, like, generally likes brown, okay? Yeah, like, that's great. And they love her. Great, even better. Her kids are half brown, half white. They're half El Salvadorian, and half Italian and Irish. Okay, so like I guess a quarter Italian, a quarter Irish. This girl 14 years old, comes home from school one day and goes, "You guys are white. You're racist." Literally, it's something to that effect. And I said, your mom only dates Hispanic men.
Like, what?
and I've been friends with your mom and all her boyfriends and husband and ex-husband and all these. How? And she looked at me like she didn't know. She just knew that's what she heard, and she said it. Like, they're just being programmed at this point.
They're just being programmed in the schools, and like what the schools teach people that are mixed race is actually the most annoying thing in the world, because what the teachers actually will teach is don't identify with the white parent, because the white parent is the oppressor and the non-white parent is the oppressed.
Wild.
And it's like,
so
these
it's
are kids,
still.
and it's starting when they're 4 years old, and it's just absolutely insane.
And what do you think the point of doing this all is? It's just to convince America that it's a racist country.
Yeah.
To want to bring more power to the government, more control.
Well,
right?
I think it's to bring more power to the right people, because what they're trying to do is subvert the entire system. They're trying to destabilize it. That's like when they say systemic racism, what they really mean is we want to pull down every major institution in this country. That's why they say everything is racist. It's not about the people anymore.
Racism.
It's the institutional racism. And that's how they're going to destabilize the systems. And it's just all about power and control. It has nothing to do with race at all. And Trump was one of the only people to really identify this, that was in a leadership position that could do something about it. And so, I mean, now he's out of office, but there are a lot of states that are passing these state bans. We're trying to in New Hampshire. We're like this close. But like, I want to go back to like, so we are now in a reality where Joe Biden is president, much to our chagrin. Both of us came out publicly as people leaving the left. Do you regret it at all?
Absolutely
No.
not. Because I know I've made way better friends. I actually, my relationship with my brother actually improved. Like, we were never close. Now we send memes to each other all day. We talk the shit, you know, because when did politics bring people together? Apparently this time.
When you find out that you're Trump supporters, when people
like, I lost help, and the people are like, oh yeah,
like,
we felt like that too.
Got you.
But it's not like that on the left. It's not, and I don't want to be around that kind of energy.
It's like a constant negotiation on the left.
Negotiation, victimizing. Negotiation, like, prove to us. And I don't have to prove shit. Like, I'm just gonna be who I am. Leave me the hell alone.
And it's like the most freeing feeling in the world when you finally just like embrace and say, you know what? These people are never going to accept me. Never.
No, they're not.
And like, this side is more fun. They're more open. They're more accepting. And I certainly don't agree with the Republicans on everything. I basically became a libertarian not too long ago. But it's like, at least they will listen to you.
Yes.
And a lot of them, even if you disagree, they're very nice people.
Yes.
And it's like
I have arguments, not even arguments. Like, we'll have conversations.
Yeah.
Not even arguments with David and Rogan and Rob, and they're all, from what I understand, I think they're all pro-life, and I'm pro-choice because I am a traditional feminist. But I understand their perspective. I do. I don't agree with it because it's such a tricky issue.
Yes.
But they've never like unfriended me or like talked or like went behind my back and like tweeted about nothing like that. Nothing. They're just like, okay, like, we can agree to disagree. And I was like, I'm used to being like emotionally abused. Like, you were in my video about that.
Oh yeah.
Like the actual, like, I was gonna say the Olympics that they go through, like jumping through hoops and shit. Like, you constantly feel like you have to jump through hoops, like proving yourself. The line never ends. You have to keep getting more and more, or less and less racist, or less and less transphobic, and it's like, it's exhausting. Like, I can't do it. I have to have friends that just know that I'm not racist and know that I'm not transphobic. And if I say something stupid, they're like, oh, shut up.
They're going to call you out and be like, you know, that's problematic. But you just like...
But, like, you laugh. Like, and that's
come
it.
on.
Like you know that I didn't mean it that way or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a healthy way to be with friendships in any kind of relationship.
You know, it's funny because, you know, I said that, like, when I came out, like, my friends were going crazy and the knitting community was going crazy at the same time. Well, I had an incident.
I can't with the knitting community. Dude. That's the funniest shit.
But, like, one of my friends in particular, and this guy was, like, completely normal for years. He was, like, the best guy. We had some of the best conversations. He started dating an SJW black woman. Oh, and Lord, all of a sudden, like, this is, like, the worst. Because he was one of the lead people. I'm like, you have to listen to black people. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll listen to black people. And so there was this SJW...
But not that one. Not that one,
well,
not that one, not that one.
No, that's exactly what happened because there was, like, this SJW trainer in the knitting community that was, like, going around selling her little anti-racist training. I was like, okay, well, here's a black woman. She's in knitting. So I will listen to her and I will do her little training and whatever. And so in the training, she actually said, white people need to stop telling other white people to stop listening to black people. And I was like, aha! This black woman says that you guys shouldn't be saying this crap. And so I went back and I told this to my friend. He was like, well, Carlin, you're just tokenizing this person. You found the one black person to say this. I was like, you know, screw you, man. Like, this is like, there's never going to be good enough.
It's never good enough.
No.
And it's never good enough. I mean, it's a constant, it's emotionally abusive. Like, actually emotionally abusive. Like, I've been with people that have abused me in that same exact way in the past that I was in relationships with. And I noticed the red flags with my friends or people that are like, whatever, acquaintances or fellow creators. And I never said anything because I wasn't like 100% sure, of course.
Right.
And then when they started saying things that they were thinking or feeling, I was like, okay, it's very clear to me now that like this is just an abuse tactic.
It's
and
like
that's what I had to make the decision to cut it. And I was like, I'm going to do it. I did it on last year, February. I was like, cut, done.
Yeah. And if people
and then
don't want to come
to
around...
Sydney and they tried to not let me into the country.
Really? You got banned from Australia?
They tried to. They literally, like, they signed the petition. It was like 300 signatures. Like, don't let Arielle into Australia.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I don't think that's going to work, but, like, good try. It's like, all right.
Man.
Still made it in.
No, but,
almost didn't make it out because then COVID happened and they were like, we're not letting anyone fly. I literally got out the day before.
Well, lucky that.
I know. I would have been stuck in Australia. Not the worst place to be stuck, though.
No, not at all. Not at all. But no, I don't regret anything. Best decision I've ever made.
100%.
Led to this crazy life.
And now you're in Trump route. Look, how many better friends did you make now?
So many better friends. And like, these are people I can actually rely on too. These are people I can be honest with. We have real conversations, you know, and I know that they aren't going to turn their back on me if I do something like leave the Republican Party and become a libertarian. Like, they'd be like, Carl, we disagree, but we're still cool. Exactly. You know? It's like, this is the way life should be. I don't know any Democrats now that I can even have conversations with. Because the other thing too is like, they're so divorced from reality. Like, one of my friends, I was friends with this woman for over 10 years. I've literally eaten dinner at her grandmother's house. This is like a Southern grandmother, so it's like a big deal, right? Okay. And, you know, when I first kind of came out, this was like, you know, there were Antifa was doing stuff. It was on the riots where Floyd died, all this stuff. And I tried to explain to them, because she had just moved to Portland, I was like, you have got to stay away from Antifa. Like, this is not a joke. You've got to stay away from them. And they said, well, Carlin, Antifa are a peaceful folk that just oppose fascism. And you must be confusing them with actual fascists. I was like, no, that is not correct.
Literally not even close.
But it's like
they're brainwashed.
They live in a completely different reality.
No, they do.
It's nuts.
Oh my God. I don't know where you want to go from here.
I don't know, man. But leaving the left, highly recommend it.